Hello everybody, this is Frogman and welcome back to Manufactio. This is going to be episode 62. Last episode we did a little bit of upgrading to the circuit factory so that we could make advanced circuits a little bit faster, or at least 3 times faster, 2 times faster, something like that. Doesn't really matter at this point. It's working, does what I need to do. I did go ahead and finish the rest of the other side of it over here, and I got a couple of other things strung out. I really kind of like how this turned out aside from the redstone control. I need to do something with that, but it definitely cleaned up a lot nicer than what I was expecting it to compared to this pipe mess. We may start looking at doing a little bit of just changing and cleaning up of this side just to make it look a little better, but I will be doing that off camera. It's no point in having you guys watch me build everything. That's why I didn't show you the rest of this, but it is done. It is working. They're all set up. They all have their engineer's blueprints and they all are set to the correct thing, and it does work. I've actually run it a little bit just to make sure that things are doing what they were supposed to be doing. Now, a little discussion on these. This is not as fast as you can go with these. Now, there are at least 2 other ways to make these circuits that I can think of that are faster. Now, I will say this right now, it's going to cost you more power, at least with this one. But in an advanced assembler, the processing time is 96 ticks, or that's about 4.5 seconds, right around that point. If you put a speed module 3 upgrade in this, that will cut that number in half. So it will be about 2.5 seconds or 2.25 seconds, something like that. So they will be pretty quick at that point. Quick enough that I think you're going to have to be looking at making those things in a lot quicker time than they're being made. And those assemblers are making those things in about 13 seconds or less than a second to make one of those things. So if you put that into an advanced assembler, that would be 8 ticks, which kind of one of those things. There also is the option for here, and I know this is one of those things that we don't tend to think about. There is this recipe for this. This recipe can be done in the RF Tools Crafters, and the RF Tools Crafters, as we know, are ridiculously fast. So you can definitely make these things in a hurry, but it's going to cost you a lot. The same thing with these things, RF Tools Crafters. These can craft these things, but you can also make them with the metallurgic infusers. So if you have a ton of osmium and you feel like mining tons of osmium, you can do it that way as well. So for right now, we're going to do this. 3 seconds of craft is, like, say, more than double the speed that we were getting before. So I'm happy with that. So it'll do what I need it to do. And I think for right now, we'll let it roll. It's definitely going to be able to keep up. And, it's one of those, it is what it is kind of things. These things don't pollute. They work at, almost 3 times the speed, and they're cooler. So I like it. I like it a lot. We're going to go on to what I actually had planned. I should say actually what I had planned today. We're going to go take a quick look around because of the way that has been working now, I have been able to do a couple of other things. And I'm going to start doing this. I'm going to start upgrading every machine that has the capability of being upgraded to at least the advanced assemblers or an advanced machine or something like that. Even if I don't need it, like the inserter one here, this guy, I don't really need him to run very quickly. What I do need him to do is stop polluting. And that's one thing that these do. Because of the fact that they're, the advanced assemblers, it's one of their features. They use a lot more power, they're faster, and they don't pollute. So now that we have that monster reactor over there doing the work, and he's actually turned down, I don't need the pollution as much. So I'm going to start upgrading everything that I can to advanced assemblers. Any type of advanced form that is available now is going to get moved to that point. So even these guys, they're elite infusing factories for another fact than the fact that I can make them. So all of these guys in this building are now set up for advanced assemblers. The assemblers over in the circuit factory probably fairly soon, where I'm going to be starting to do these guys off camera because why not? Again, just to make things a little less polluting and a little less of a problem. The only thing I don't like about the advanced assemblers is where the placement of that block is. It makes me have to move this out here, which is going to make this pathway very, very small. So I may have to reconstruct this room in a different fashion. That's why I really haven't done it yet. I believe we've had that one as an advanced assembler for a while, and I think that's about all the assemblers we have as far as everything else in this base. It's not very, I don't think I have any more of those after that point. So 2 days project is ongoing process of trying to upgrade and speed up the base so that I can make things even quicker is to start looking at iron plates. Iron plates are in almost everything. everywhere you look, there's iron plates. And if it's not iron plates, it's iron gears. So we need to look at upgrading and speeding up this process. Now, I could go ahead and build another bank of these things over here, but I'm getting a little tired of using metal presses. Metal presses are great. They're just laggy and slow, and just they're picky. You can't back stuff them. You can't do a lot of things with them. You have to do fancy redstone control like I am right here. There's a level emitter underneath this block that lights this little piece of red alloy wire that lights this. And because this is applied energistics, there has to be 8 channels on this and 1 channel right here. And I have 9 and 9. So I don't mind this process. I'm not doing this part again. I'm not doing this again. I'm not interested in building any more plate presses. I want to do something else. I am going to finally build some rolling machines specifically for iron plates. And the reason why I'm going to do that is because that is basically the end game way of doing the plates. We're going to go ahead and augment and add a few plate press, or a few rolling machines right here. I'm going to add 3 of them in, because that's the only way that I can get this to work any faster. And excuse me while I adjust my headset. It feels weird. There we go. All right. In order to build a rolling machine, we need a whole bunch of parts, and we need the thing that I probably already put away. Where did my thing go? Hello, thing. Where are you? There you are. I need that thing right there. So it's another advanced rocketry machine, and as far as we can see right here, we have the rolling machine capability stuff. The stuff that it needs is down here in the corner. So I went ahead and pre-crafted all of the better parts that I could get, and I already right-clicked the thing on top of the chest, so that's awesome. So we're going to need input hatches, titanium coils, output hatches, elite motors, machine structures, rolling machine controllers, power input plugs, and fluid input hatches. And that's kind of what it's going to look like, except not like that. And I think I need to start right there, right? Yes, I'm finally figuring out which direction these silly things face. So again, not terrible to build, just standard multi-block structure without a kind of a thing. I don't believe there's a capsule for this. Nope, no capsule, so I have to build it by hand anyway. No big deal. I'm not going to worry about building a capsule for this. This is probably the last 3 that I'm going to make, hopefully. So we need some coils. I need that motor and some more structure blocks, and we'll just knock these guys out. So shouldn't take too long. Output hatch, you're down there. That's an input hatch. Okay, cool. I do love these structures. I do love the fact that I can pick block the actual block. So like if I point at this block and I scroll over here, let's say we'll put it right there, I can pick block the structure that's in front of me, the hologram, which is nice. Makes them easy to build. So anyhow, my problem with rolling machines, and again, it's kind of one of those things, is the fact that rolling machines to make plate presses, or plates, to make plates and or gears, require lubricant to make them. Now, it is what it is, I guess. For the majority of players, probably not going to be a problem when you're looking at just doing a regular playthrough. When you're just playing the game, you're not really worried about whether or not you're going to have enough lubricant. You're not really concerned about it because you're not trying to be as silly as I am. So I've had a major problem all the way through this playthrough using up my oil, and I think I've said it many times that it just amazes me at how much, that's an output hatch, right? It just amazes me at how much materials I've managed to run through this factory compared to, like say the playthrough that I did prior, where at one point I did end up running out of oil in my other playthrough, but it hasn't been near as bad as this time. I really need to sit down and just go measure all of the little deposits that I've used up and see exactly how many thousands of buckets of oil I've used up, because it's got to be close to 50 or 60 now at this point. So, or even more. It's ridiculous. So it is what it is. I've used a lot of plastic. I've made a lot of sulfur. I've done a lot of various things. So it's just kind of one of those. It bothers me that this process. I know it's a machine. What did I do wrong? What did I do wrong? Oh, I'm missing that thing. Okay, come here, you. I know it's a machine that you're going to have to use for various things, and I know this is the end game way of doing things, but it just for me personally, and the way that this pack has been going and the way that this world has been going, it got kind of expensive for oil, at least for me. That's what I said. I've still got, let's go over here. I'm on my, let's see, they're over there. There's 4 of them over there, 4 pump jacks on various sizes. That will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, I think, close to 20 immersive engineering deposits I've used up, or am going to be using up, just to keep up with certain things. That's why we built the plastic factory. That's why all that, the new plastic system, that's why we're doing things like this, so that I can run these. I'm exchanging plastic for lubricant, so I can run these to make more plates. So I guess it is what it is. I keep saying that, but it is what it is. Anyhow, on to the next part. The next part is we need to be able to hook said lubricant up to these guys. And I have a quantum entanglo porter set up to my frequency lubricant, which I'm using to feed various areas in the base. Namely just the crushers and the excavators, because the crushers and the excavators, you can speed them up if you use lubricant. So I think, and there's a reason why I'm doing this from the bottom, just so we can explain this here in a second. I want to do something like this. Yes, okay. There is a reason why I'm feeding these from the bottom, and it's because of the funky multi-blocks that are the rolling machines. Rolling machines I have had problems with because of the fact that that multi-block has spaces in it. So, and what I mean by spaces is the fact that this is a space. There's a spot right here. Like right here is technically open air. But because it's inside the multi-block structure, here as a whole, as the entire thing, these things don't like that. These especially the rolling machines. I've had that problem with the other ones when I was playing around with them before, because I just ran the lubricant right straight down to them, and the sulfuric acid for the silicon just right straight down to the top of this tank. And then I closed the world and I reopened the world and I went and looked at the thing, and the multi-block was all messed up and everything was screwed up and it wasn't working because there was a block that wasn't supposed to be there. And if you break and replace the controller and try to form it, it will put a big red X right there. So it says it doesn't like it because it's not part of the structure. So we're feeding them from the bottom this time. So hatches are full. Let's get us some wiring. So wire relay, wire connector, wire. Let's see. Let's start over here. So that thing is right there, and that is right there, and I think that one is going to end up being like right there, probably. Okay. And I need the wire to the wire. So wire connector, wire relay, connector, go. Cool. To there. Go. All right. And then you over to there. And you like this, because this thing's in the way. So, okay. Yeah, we need to keep that. Oh yeah, I forgot. I need to keep that in that place because we still have to be able to pull what little bit of pollution that might be happening in this building down. All right, so that's the power hooked up, the lubricant hooked up. I can put these away because I don't need them anymore. Cool. And I don't think I have anything in here. We need impulse ducts, reinforced filter, signal room servos, all those kind of things. All right, we're gonna hook the outputs up over here, and I already placed a item router so that it just goes sideways, just because it's easier that way. And I think I'm gonna have to remember how this works. I'm gonna have to do this again. I can't remember whether this is going to output in this output hatch first or this output hatch. So we will have to build that as we go. I need this, and that. Kind of somewhat pre-measured, kind of somewhat pre-built at this point, if you haven't figured it out. Just to kind of try to save a little bit of time, we're going to hook the applied energistic system up kind of sort of like this with an interface right there. And then we're going to run item ducts across the top because this is going to be easier on channels to manage. So I do want to regulate the amount of items that are going to, oop, I don't want that. I need, give me this one, right there. You're not doing that, and you're not doing that. I do want to regulate the amount of items that are going into each one of them to a single stack, just so we don't overrun like maniacs. Cool. And then I'm going to put a signalum servo there because it's the best one I have, and he's going to be set to round robin. Then we're going to place a level emitter. I'm going to take that off right now. I'm going to put a level emitter right there. And we're going to set that number to 500 under. And I need 1 plate. Click. Cool. All right. If I put that right there and turn this to round robin again. Very good. Okay. We need to run this just a little bit. I need some iron ingots, which I don't think I have. Do I have any in my inventory? Maybe. Let's go grab some iron ingots. Ooh, hello, door. Iron ingots. Stack, please. And we're going to set you to export a stack at a time. And I want to put a couple of these in here just to figure out which side this goes to. Okay. You guys are all on? I did turn them all on. Yes? Okay, cool. Which, okay, we're going to go into that hatch. So that means I need to do this, 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 and that. Okay, because we're not going to backstuff these things. We're going to use redstone control to just turn them off once we hit a limit. Okay, cool. So that's going to go over to there. That went into that. And that should be it. So let's do this then. We're going to set this to that level emitter. Let's set that guy to 1500. And I'm going to make sure this works, which it should. I mean, there's no reason why it won't, unless I did my maths wrong and punched this box. They should go to work, along with everything else. That's not bad, considering half of these are on. We'll talk about that in a second. So they should stop now. We should have an inventory full of stuff. That's fine. I'm just going to do this, and you guys can just finish the rest of this. And if we make too many, we make too many. But you guys can clean out the rest of your inventory. Now, I can make these bigger. Like I said, we can make another couple more over here or a couple more over here if I think this isn't going to be enough. But again, like I said, I kind of don't want to use these guys as the primary way of making plates because of the amount of the lubricant that they use. I'm tired of looking for oil, and I'm not going to lie on that. I'm tired of looking for oil. I really am tired of it. At some point, like I said, I'm liquefacting coal and using mobs to make oil. Tired of looking for oil. So I don't want to use too much of it. That's why this is going to be, if we end up with a project where we end up using a massive amount of stuff, I think we're going to have a problem, aren't we? Well, we should be okay. But nothing else, I can punch it again. Okay. Yeah, we'll be okay. All right, so I want to set you back down to 500. Like I said, I don't want to be using these guys for the primary way of doing it. I want to be using these, even though they suck. We're going to be using these because these don't require that lubricant. So it's just me. Now, as far as speed is concerned, this is something we can look at here. They run the standard process, so plates. The standard process for plate making in a regular rolling machine is 4 seconds. And that is basic motor, basic coils. We're using titanium coils and elite motors, so we're running at 7 times that speed. So this is, again, catch me back up process, but not constant process. So we'll just see if this works. If I have to, I will make more. I'm really not interested in making more of them, but we will do what we have to do as we do things. So cool. I'm glad I got that done. We should be good to go there. I think I like it. I think it'll work fine for now. Let's see. Put our boxes away, and then we're going to go visit the mob farm and dump some of this junk off that we picked up, but that's fine. So give me my ender chest back. Thank you. The next thing we're probably going to be playing with, and it's going to be after the in this building anyway, after the update happens, is that Golrith is going to be adding a recipe for gold wire using the lathes like we have upstairs. He's also going to be adding recipes for the rest of the wires, which is pretty cool. So we will probably be getting rid of at least this line here and do something similar to what we have upstairs. I don't need a lot of gold wire. I'm just really tired of all the plate presses. This process here can be augmented with the lathes as well, and I may end up moving to that process for gears because of the fact that the gears are the reason why we're running out of plates for the most part. It's not the circuits, it's the gears, because of the fact that there's 4 gear presses here. 8 of these presses over here are covering for these. They're basically, when I'm making gears over here, I'm using 8 of these to make those, or over a third, or like say almost half of the process for plates to make gears. So back when I had the gear to the plate to gear presses in here, and then the plate presses like way early on, I didn't have that problem. I was able to keep, man, come on mouse, let me have this thing. I'm gonna have to do something with this mouse. It's not been acting right the last couple days. Anyhow, just discussion on that is just because of the fact that I did this process here using these to feed this process. This is not enough. So at least not enough for the plates at this point. So let's go over here and dump these things out of my inventory because I don't need them right now. We can give it to the mob farm. I need to come over here and look anyway. It's been a long time today. Is there anything else I don't need? Yeah, you can have that too. And we're not doing bad on emeralds. Good deal. Cool. How am I doing on XP? We don't have any. Here, why don't you dump those 2 levels off? Thank you. Done. All right. Okay, so with the rest of the episode, we need to discuss some more upgrades. We're going to do... That's interesting. That's new. Okay, whatever. Whatever. Who cares? We need to start talking about more upgrades. We need to start talking about more speed and more getting things done in a hurry quicker. And the next getting things done in a hurry quicker, as well as probably trying to get rid of a lot of pollution, is this building. I've been using this building for a long time. Since like episode 2, I think, or 3 or something like that. We've had the basis of this building and these blast furnaces and some type of item system moving things around in this building. And then when we got rid of the farmers, we built more blast furnaces in here. So this building has been doing this for a long time, and I don't mind it. It's a great thing. It does what I want it to do. I'm just getting to the point where I don't need the pollution anymore. And I know that's kind of funny. We've spent all of this series managing pollution in this greenhouse, and I am getting to the point I don't need it anymore. So we need to start looking at getting rid of these things. I think it's time to start getting rid of the blast furnaces. I have several options, and I'm going to tell you right off the bat I'm not using mechanism, and I'm going to explain why I'm not going to use mechanism right now. Let me grab a little bit of iron here and some... Do I have any signalium ducts? Yes, I do. Let's go over to the EMC factory, and I'll show you why I don't want to use mechanism. On this wall over here, we have an advanced smelting factory that is doing the pulverized iron into ingots so that we can turn them into gold, and I'm getting that from that dude over there, that excavator. If I toss a pile of this stuff in here, when that thing is running 5, this is just 5 slots. This isn't even an elite slot where we have 7. This is just 5. It's taking 10,000 RF a tick to run at this pace, and that is for speed upgrades. If I say I'm going to go borrow, let me borrow 2 of these out of here. 1, 2. and I do this, just so I have enough power to run this thing real quick, and I put those guys in here, I want to show you something. That's 2 speed upgrades. We now have 1,000 RF a tick. 1,000 RF left in the buffer over here. 1,000. This thing is using almost 20,000 RF a tick to run at this pace. And for whatever reason, we're not unloading something. Whatever it's doing. I don't even think it's being able to keep up at this point. Give me that out of there. Cook this iron. See, notice we can't even run the last 2 slots because of that speed upgrade. If I pull one of those speed upgrades out, go back down to 5, now it has just enough power to run this thing at a speed that is pretty stinking slow considering what it is. So let's do this. We'll get that back out. Get this guy back to doing what he was supposed to be doing. Oop, I didn't want to do that. I need to do, you do this. Thank you. No. We must be, oh yeah, I backed it up when I did that. I know better than to do that. Here, finish this up process, please. Thank you. Now, do this. You can finish that too. Okay, so we're going to get rid of this because it doesn't need it right now. For right now, this is what I wanted this to do. I wanted it to just kind of work here and run at a specific speed just so that it can keep up. Because all we're doing in this building is making EMC with the various parts and pieces of stuff that we're bringing in here. But you can see how slow that is and how much power that took. 20,000 RF to run at a ridiculously slow speed. If we come over to this building, where we have the arc furnaces, we have lots of materials in here. Now, all of these guys are kind of set to just do their various things. But if I do, see, we have a bunch preloaded already, and there's a bunch of stuff in here. If I just do, watch how much different that is. Now, granted, yes, I know, this thing's using a lot of power, but it's a 1.5 craft times 12. 1.5 craft times 12. And for iron ingots, that's going to be somewhere around 580 RF a tick, or about 7,000 RF a tick to run one of these guys that's going to craft 12 things at a time if I can keep it in it. The only problem with these things is these things. This thing, I have made enough of this titanium aluminiide, whatever it is, to get them down to the 70s. I've ran enough, and they're Unbreaking 3. A lot of stuff takes that. A lot of stuff takes titanium aluminide, or at least the plates. So, it's going to be one of those, I'm going to have to come up with something. Big problem is I killed the villager that I was buying Unbreaking books from, so I'm going to have to reopen my villager breeder to get that to work if I'm going to do this process. The electrodes, let me see, coal coke. I should have quite a bit of coal coke around somewhere, I think. Maybe I don't. Maybe I have to go look. I thought I had a ton of that stuff. But yeah, I'm going to have to build or make a whole bunch of that stuff too. I could have swore I had, oh no, I know it. I've already made it. Yeah, we have lots of hot graphite ingots, so I'm not too terribly concerned about that problem. I can make all of the rods that I need. How much longer am I going to play this pack, I think is the question. Do I go with the electric furnaces that will take the exact same, I should be able to actually put some more electric furnaces in here because this is a 3x5 structure. I could get some more electric furnaces in here, or I could put an arc furnace in here that would sit down in the exact same spot as 1 or 2 of these guys and replace them all with 3 or 4 arc furnaces. That's the question. That's the process. That's where I'm thinking I'm going to be going towards in the next episode. So we're going to have to sit down and think about it for a while. So comments are welcome, guys. I am going to say that before I finish this episode that I am going to be on a completely different topic, starting a new work schedule next week. Matter of fact, Sunday. Not happy about it, but Sunday. I'm going to 12s, and we're going to do what we're going to do. 12s means that my schedule for recording is going to be all kinds of messed up. What I've been doing for the last year is not going to work anymore, last 6, 7, 8 months. So I'm going to have to come up with a different schedule, which means that videos are probably going to slow down for a little bit until I can sort things out. I think I'm going to have to cut back to at least maybe one video per series a week until I can get things going. So I hope you guys understand that process. It's just going to be one of those things that happen. I'm going to be putting out a channel update video this weekend, so we're going to be able to talk about it then. So just be on the lookout for that, and we'll be okay with it. I'm not concerned. I'm just going to have to figure out how to make it work. So I guess, guys, I do appreciate every one of you watching, and I do appreciate all the comments and the thoughts and the process and all that kind of stuff. I know I say that all the time, but I do appreciate it. I will see you guys in the next one. We're going to have fun building in this building, one of the oldest structures in the world that's still here next to that thing. So thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.